Unless you've experienced narcissistic abuse, you really don't understand the nature of it. And one thing that many people get wrong when they hear about the topic of narcissistic abuse is that they think that narcissists go out and just target people to abuse, and that it's very intense, very visible abuse that they outlay. But that's not true, or at least not most of the time, because narcissists abuse people very subtly, or at least that's how it usually goes. Narcissistic abuse usually goes undetected, at least for a while. It's that phrase, that expression that says death by a thousand cuts. So when narcissists break you down, when they disassemble your personality, because the idea is, if the narcissist thinks you could be a primary source of, what people call narcissistic supply to them, they first need to make sure that you're properly submissive and that you're not someone who might threaten them with narcissistic injuries just by being yourself. And to achieve that, they have to break you down. So narcissists, as a first step, they read you carefully to know what your insecurities are, your weaknesses, vulnerabilities, all that. And they also kind of read you to know what makes you tick. Because in the early stages of being with a narcissist, they interrogate you quite a lot, and they're very intuitive as to the core traits about yourself. And then once they understand you, who you are, they subtly devalue you. They subtly poke at your insecurities, but it starts off so softly, if you would, that you barely notice it happening. But what they do is they steadily and progressively instill more doubt in you. They kill your confidence. They make you question things about yourself. Things that might make you feel proud, things that you look forward to, people in your life that you get on well with. Narcissists make you question all that to make you think if all that's even relevant to you anymore. And over time, they manage to push you away from people. They manage to kill your confidence. They make you feel like you're not really worth much until you reach the point where you attach your worth through your association with the narcissist. And at that point, you're basically submissive to them. Without them, you kind of feel like you're weak, irrelevant, unimportant. So it really is that, if they really do drip feed you with their toxicity. They drip feed you with their abuse. And that's why so often it goes undetected, and that's why it's so dangerous. Because if somebody comes to you and just slaps you in the face and says, "Look, I want to beat you up. I'm going to steal everything from you." At least you can see it happening. You can push them away, you know, call the authorities, do whatever you have to do to kind of keep yourself safe. But with narcissism, it's a very subtle thing, because narcissists, they like to go undetected for two reasons. They like to get away with what they do undetected, so that they can get away with it, so they can continue to outlay their toxicity on you, but also because narcissists hate being revealed. They hate when people know who they are and what they're up to, and their ways. So narcissists, they like to fly under the radar in that sense. So if you are or have been with a narcissist, you might think, well, how do I just, how can I prevent this? If they're so good at reading me, they're so good at chipping away at my insecurities, if they're so good at instilling doubt in me, then how can I deal with these people if I can't, create a distance? Well, the first kind of answer to that is, well, if you're living with this person, if they're your spouse, you really do need to separate and get away from them. So in a sense that you don't want to be spending day in, day out with these people. But let's say you don't live with them, but you have to face them sometimes, but not all the time. The thing is, if you only need to face them sometimes and not all the time, and you know who they are, you know the way they roll, and you kind of already expect that behavior. Let's say you already expect that if you're going to be spending time with this person for whatever reason, if you expect them to throw in a few of these jabs, these psychic jabs below the belt, type comments and type actions to make you feel bad, to make you feel insecure. If you're already expecting that, it doesn't have the same impact. So that's basically what you need. That's how you have to approach these people. You have to understand who they are, understand the way their mind works, and understand their needs. And their needs are that they need to chip away at you. They need to make you feel fragile. They need to make you feel at risk of being completely disassembled, doubtful, insecure, so they can feel good about themselves. So if you understand that and you expect them to try to put you down, then what the things they do are not nearly as potent because it's already an expectation. And you realize that everything they make you feel is just a projection of how they feel about themselves. But so they're trying to make you feel that way so they can feel less bad about themselves. So that's really the secret of dealing with narcissists is A, to know who they are, B, to not expect anything good from them, and C, to spend as little time with them as possible. So if you're living with them or spending an intense amount of time with them, that's not healthy. It doesn't matter who you are or what barriers you put up. That's not healthy. But let's just face it. We live in a world where we need to interact with people. So if you do have to interact with narcissists in your life, then you just accept them for who they are. Know what to expect, which is nothing good. Keep your boundaries up. Keep emotional neutrality. Don't take the things they say to heart. And just remember that anything that they make you feel, it's actually a projection of how they feel. And then it's just a lot easier to deal with them in a healthy manner. If you are dealing with some people, kind of very light touch, just make sure you're getting something out of it. You don't want to deal with these people at any capacity unless there's something in it for you. Because sometimes on a day-to-day basis, you need to face them. But just make sure there's something in it for you. Otherwise, you're at a loss, but with no gain.